Welcome back here once again, everyone. We've arrived at issue 4 of DC's Dark Crisis, now called Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, because that'll make people want to buy it. There's 3 more issues to go. And once again, this issue is a big lead up to make you think something going to happen that you already know going to happen, that ain't really making much sense in the long run, but they seem to be trying to hope that you wouldn't notice that unless enjoy the nostalgic ride, which no one is. So when we finally get into it now, we last time around, when the Green Lanterns went to fight Pariah and spend a whole bunch of time talking, and Hal Jordan ended up inside of John Stewart's, perfect world that Pariah is giving to all the Justice League members. He was confronted by some other Green Lantern type people, one of them who kind of looks like Kyle Rayner and all of this thing, but it turned out to be a total waste of time that nobody is interested in. But then, bam, Flash shows up, right? Flash shows up, the actual Flash, Barry Allen, shows up, and it turns out that he tells, apparently from whatever happened in the tie-in Flash issues that are accompanying this, I don't know because I'm not reading them. I find they're just terrible. I'm not reading any of these DC titles anymore. I think they just screwed all their heroes over, but he apparently knows everything that's happening and what's going on, and he now tells Hal that he has been racing through all the different worlds that Pariah created for all the different Justice League members. And apparently these worlds are supposed to be, their perfect worlds that they always envision, and that's why they're in there, which makes really no sense, because in Superman's world we found out that he and Lois are horrible parents. Did a video on that, horrible parents. Diana's world is just a screwed up mess, ultimately screwed up mess. But then again, they don't like Wonder Woman at all, so what else would you expect? And the rest of the Justice League worlds aren't any better. Total garbage. You understand me? So Hal and Barry decide that they have to travel through the world to try and save the Justice League, whatever. Let me get back to the Hall of Justice now, right? Mr. Miracle is giving, Mr. Terrific is giving a speech about the whole multiverse and all this kind of thing, and it's just boring as crap, and you really have no interest whatsoever in what's going on, because he could have wrapped that entire thing up in a couple 2 sentences and be done with it. But this is what you're getting, a bunch of very wordy dialogues in this thing to try and make you think that something big is happening when there really isn't anything at all. Understand me? The Justice Society is there now. Okay, like I said before, like the Justice Society, don't think that they being there changes anything at all. John Kent is there, so that automatically tells me everything's going to fail. Meanwhile, we have other leaguers and other heroes running around doing things, feeding people, rescuing people. There's even this scene where they are visiting a child in the hospital, like Stephanie Brown is there visiting a sick child in the hospital, which I have no problem with, but these things have to tie into a story. You can't just put them in because you want to see the heroes doing certain things, and okay, alright, they're doing certain stuff, but it must tie into a larger story that you're trying to tell. If that's not happening, then you're just throwing things randomly in there, hoping that they're going to stick. When we do get around to it now, apparently Dick Grayson is down in the dumps, and Alan Scott, Green Lantern, is trying to talk to him, to try to get him to support him, to tell him that, the heroes need him and all kind of thing. I mean, this shouldn't have even happened, to be honest with you, because Nightwing has been through so much. He has matured and grown as a hero to the point now where if something happens, he is prepared to get it done. That's what they wanted to push. But they've done everything in this story to try and downplay that, to have Nightwing not take up the leadership role that he and the other members of the Titans, I think, should have taken to begin with. And meanwhile, he's there by Beast Boy's bedside because of what happened. And here the really stupid part about what happened, how he puts this with Beast Boy, and to tell you how absolutely dotish this is. Here's what Nightwing says. Gar believes he was killed. That's why he's not waking up. The trauma of Deathstroke's attack was too much on everyone. One of my best friends thought he was dying. So Deathstroke shot him point blank in the face, which should have killed him instantly, because that's a kill shot. Should have killed Beast Boy instantly. Somehow he survived, but he thinks he's dead, and that's why he's not waking up. God forbid you have, I don't know, people with magical abilities, people with telepathic abilities who could go inside of his mind, go into his psyche, wake him up. All these things you literally have at your disposal, yet you sitting by his bedside trying to act like you're mourning over him for some shitting reason nobody seems to be able to get. None. Then we have Alan Scott tell him some story about how he saw Dick Grayson's parents perform in Gotham years before he was born, and come on now, man. Come on. He tries, go through the whole process of trying to convince him to take up the mantle and lead, something he should have been doing from the very start. Something he should have been doing, and meanwhile, Dick Grayson's all mopey and thing, and talking about how Deathstroke beat us. His goal was to break our spirits, toy with the Titans, with me. It's going to take a lot more than some smiles and optimism to beat him this time. None of that actually happened. He showed up at the Deathstroke showed up. You all had a little slap fight for like 2 minutes. Nothing of real importance happened, and then he left. How has this broken you? How is not like he actually caused massive damage, killed half your friends, maimed the others, tore apart your entire reasoning, and now you have to pull yourself back together and go. Nothing like that happened. He shot Beast Boy in the face at point blank range, and he's alive, and nobody's thinking, let's get somebody with mental powers to go in there, repair whatever trauma he has, we don't understand why, and bam, back on his feet. But no, you're sitting by his bedside moping because apparently you don't have access to that. I think this story keeps making less and less sense the more it goes along. Honestly, less and less sense. Oh yeah, by the way, remember Black Adam last time decided to go to the Legion of Doom because he got tired of the heroes not wanting to commit mass murder with him. So he goes there and tells them that he needs them to help him to do what he has to do, and Grodd isn't happy about it. Grodd is all screaming in his face and whatnot and the other and all kind of stuff. And Black Adam is same as normal. All the heroes are weak and they don't want to do what needs to be done. Get this little part here where I have Captain Cole saying, the bottom line is, are we really going to let Deathstroke and some C-listers show us up? And then Cheetah is all, if we're to be this world saviors, what are some of the newbies doing here? And then Punchline is, try me Kitty Litter anytime. I mean, I would honestly like to see Cheetah and Punchline go at it. I think that would have been really fun to see. That would have been really fun to see. And then, we have the whole thing, Luther is here, talking about all this thing with the multiverse and the multiverse again and all of this stuff that nobody gives a crap about. Then they get attacked by, surprise, surprise, Deathstroke and his Mohawk. And also some other criminal sickos that he has with him and stuff. And all of them have black chains on their bodies because, you know, they've all been possessed. And it's just getting really stupid at this point. So they show up to attack and they have this big fight. Meanwhile, Pariah's watching this whole thing and is all, you know, he's happy about it because everything's going exactly according to plan. Meanwhile, Kyle Rayner and Jojo Mullins are fighting off some kind of shadowy looking things that nobody should really give a crap about. And what we get to find out is that Pariah knows that Hal Jordan and Barry Allen are racing through the world, but apparently it's not stopping anything. It's only speeding up whatever process he has in the works for the Justice League or whatever. We don't know. So they end up in this place that have a lot of clocks and all of this sort of clock-like technology. And apparently it's Batman's world, Batman's Gotham City. For some reason, he wants old-timey clocks and whatnot. And then next thing you know, not a batarang, but a clock wheel sprocket thing there. And then suddenly we see Batman looking like some kind of weird crossover between Batman and the Clock King. I don't know. This is supposed to be your perfect world. Wouldn't this world have your parents in it and everything would be okay? I mean, come on now, man. How does this make any sense to be anybody's perfect world that they would actually want to stay in? This doesn't seem to be like them that like they understand what it is they're really doing at all. It really doesn't seem to be like they understand what they're doing. So Alan Scott takes Nightwing, John Kent, and Yara Flor for some reason to some sanctuary thing there, and you know they have this picture of Zatanna and all of this. We also get to see Detective Chimp, and he's drunk and angry because Zatanna died, and you know he's all this and the other, but nobody ever really dies in this thing, so I'm sure she'll be back soon enough. Whatever. We also get to meet John Constantine again, and you know, Swamp Things. Apparently there's more than one of them now. And tell him and Swamp Thing tells him that apparently the Great Darkness this time is somehow different because he met something connected to the Great Darkness before, and apparently now he thinks that there's some kind of evil force affecting the Great Darkness, because apparently the Great Darkness isn't good or evil, it just is. And something may very well be using it to do something else. Well, I could tell you that, you know. Battle's still going on with Deathstroke's Mohawk and his army, and, you know, Black Adam and the rest of them and all of this. So Luthor decides he's going to take out Deathstroke because that seems like the more practical thing to do. While all of this is happening now, there's weird things happening with the Justice League's worlds. Black lightning is happening in the sky and all kind of stuff. Luthor ends up knocking down Slade and decides he's going to kill him, you know, because after a whole bunch of meaningless talking back and forth and only 2 punches thrown, that's exactly what we need. But no such luck. He also gets infected by the black ooze that is apparently being used by all of them. And then everybody else starts to get affected by the black ooze except Black Adam. Maybe, you know, the black ooze doesn't go near people with the name Black in it or something like that. I don't know, probably. All of this is starting to happen. All of this is converging. All of this to lead up to the one thing that everybody pretty much knew was coming when they decided to change the name of this from Dark Crisis to Dark Crisis Infinite. What ends up happening? New multiverse is born and the Infinite Earths are back. That's it. This whole big thing was just a lead up to the Infinite Earths coming back. That's it. Whole new multiverse is born, new Infinite Earths. So pretty much everything that happened with Crisis on Infinite Earths before is just swept out the door because you have no original ideas in your head whatsoever. So let's just go back and do the same nonsense all over again. That seems like a great idea. Right? Infinite Earths are reborn. And that's it. Yet another issue where it just, you know, cakewalks through anything that could have been an interesting story just to get to the point to turn around and say, well, okay, you know what, we just go in and sprinkle this on here and hope nobody has a problem with it and be done with it. Nothing in this issue makes any sense whatsoever at all. Anything, nothing makes sense. That's the same random nonsense over and over again. That's all. That's it for me and this update on issue 4 of Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video, and I shall see you all next time. Take care.